champagne with us. It's gonna get heated tonight. It's about to get dangerous. It's gonna get wild tonight. Pop a bottle of champagne with us. But you better keep your cool.
Oh yeah, it's a party.
Somebody might die tonight. We're living the party life. Somebody might die tonight. We're living the party life. Somebody might die tonight. We're living the party life.
Episode 289 of the Midnight in the Bay podcast is here, guy. Not live, but recorded. That's how the real OGs do it. Guy, I may be bald, I may have a beard. Don't be scared of me if you're watching the video. Audio, you probably think I've been a black guy this whole time. Surprise! I'm a bald, white male that looks like he got married on January 6th. I look like I flip off every black person that walks down the street. I look like, in my free time, I plan hits on Middle Eastern people because they smell. I look like a guy that jerks off to trans pornography, but then says he hates the gays in public. Which is like half the Republican politician party. That's like all politicians. That's like every, church pastor. They condemn the gays. And then they're kind of getting blown in a Ferrari by a Middle Eastern midget. Male. Pastor, what's wrong? I'm a hypocrite. Once you start casting shame on people that don't deserve it, shame comes on you. Right on the face. Or in this case, the midget's face. Beer? O'clock. I've been trying to be more grateful lately. So, God bless the weed. God bless the beer. Thank God for cocaine. I'm like grateful for everything you're not supposed to be grateful for. You can pick whatever you want to be grateful for. It doesn't have to be friends, family. God, that's so boring. I pick different things. Toenail clippers. If I didn't have toenail clippers, I don't think my wife would sleep with me every 2 months. What else am I grateful for? I guess a penis is pretty cool. And I feel like ladies are always like, it's so difficult being a woman. Like, you wouldn't last. Like, lady, you wouldn't last being a male. Do you know the strength a male has to go through to stop themselves from looking like a cartoon character when a hot lady walks by? Oh, gaga. Oh my God. I mean, that's what every guy wants to do. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've been married for 50 years. You're probably most likely going to be thinking that way in your head. I saw a chick. She was so hot. It was at my kid's baseball game. And I told one of the other dads, I said, oh my God, is there a porn star here? Just making a joke. Comedian guy. He goes, she's got an OnlyFans. I go, I gotta get out of here. Kids have it so much better than when we had it. Okay? And ladies, this is how men think. This is all we only think about sex. Okay? And if a guy tells you he never thinks about sex, he thinks about sex all the time. When I was a kid, and I'm sure, ladies, this goes for you too, there was always a parent, either of a friend of a friend of a friend, that was smoking hot, that you would masturbate to. Come on. All right. I said it, Grandma. Grandma, I don't even talk dirty in front of my grandma because I don't want her to say anything gross, because that would, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Yeah, that would really mess up my head. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. I'd be just grossed out. That's my grandma. Can't think about her that way. You can't think of certain people in your life in a sexual way. Isn't that weird? Um, Grandma, mom, dad, aunts, uncle. Well, I had a hot aunt back in the day. She was gay, but made the fantasy even better. But there's certain people, first cousins mostly, you know, so on. You get the point. Pet dog. You're not having sick thoughts about the pet dog. No, the pet cat. It's a different situation. I had an orange cow. Oh my god! How do you know I love redheads? Come here, bitch. What's interesting too is we call dogs bitches, and then somehow women became stop acting like a bitch. Maybe that person that came up with that associated women, yelling to like a dog barking, and they're like, okay, see that bitch? Well, that lady right there I'm married to, she's acting like that. And then the friend was like, oh, she's acting like a bitch. That sounds pretty good. And then that's just history, guys. Drunk history. Part two. I don't even know what we're talking about. This is the problem with ADD and no producer here. I go on these little tangents and then I don't know how to get back. It's like Inception where he flipped and went too much. It's like, 20 leagues under the sea. You're like, oh shit, the squid's on us. I went too deep. Should only went 5 feet in the ocean. Um, but anyways, we're having a blast here, guys. I was talking about something, and you guys are screaming in the podcast. Remember that was cool. Maybe we'll come back to it. I'm shocked I even have listeners and followers. You know what I mean? But there is a reason why I got that comment on YouTube. You need to have more guests. Yeah, I get it, guy. I'm not funny enough for you. I get it. I'm not, and I'm assuming it's a guy because there's no way I have female listeners. I mean, I play some of my comedy for my wife, and she's like, doesn't laugh, kind of looks at me in a weird way, and then walks away. You know, she laughs when I'm like, it's like improv at home, goofing around with the kid, family friendly comedy. As soon as I go dirty, she's like, I know I shouldn't have married a Catholic. I thought the Catholics are freaks. Apparently, some of them are strict down the. I just came out to her and said, I watch porn. You watch pornography. There's women out there that don't watch porn, which I guess it's better to be married to someone that doesn't watch porn because then they're probably not going to be as big of a freak, outside. She's not going to see the mailman thinking about, video page 299. That guy kind of looks like the black guy I was looking at. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't think like how we could think. You know what I mean? Oh, it's tough being a guy, ladies. It is really tough. I know we were talking about that, but I can't believe I'm so mad I went off track. Damn it. Well, my wife feels. She's like, what's up here, guy? I like to listen to newer music so I can pretend to have hair again. That makes no sense. Why did I write that down? As a comedian, you're supposed to write down every thought that you think is funny. And I think there's times where I get stoned and maybe a little buzzed off the old IPA. Salute Dave, by the way. And I lose track, you know? I lose track and I think everything's funny. And I'm like, let's write this down. And I write down, I like to listen to newer music so I can pretend to have hair again. The only thing I can logically think why I wrote this is because it makes me feel young. That's like a high way of saying, oh, this music makes me feel young again. I like to listen to new music so I can pretend to have hair again. And yes, you notice I freshly shaved, which when you freshly shave your head, I don't know if I have any bald listeners. It's probably all I have. My only listeners are probably like bald, white, straight males, right? That have read a couple Nazi books in the past. Oh, history purposes. Oh yeah, right guy. But the bald, when you shave your head, you just want to rub your head, okay? And I was rubbing my head today because it's freshly shaved, crying because I missed my hair, and I felt a bump. Now I did this stoned because when else do you rub your fucking head? And for like at least 3 hours, I thought I had a tumor. I'm like, should I call the doctor? That was for 3 hours. Should I call the doctor? Is it a tumor? Do I need X-ray? If they did an X-ray, I'm probably gonna die, right? If they find something, and my kid's gonna probably grow up with two moms because my wife's gonna be sick of men at that point. Um, and then I don't know if you've ever done this. Have you ever taken pictures of your head? I took pictures of my head, and I saw that it was a bug bite. I think it's kind of funny that it took me 3 hours to take a picture of my head. I laugh at myself. You have to, or you'll go insane. I laugh so I don't have to see a therapist, you know? You ever think that you may wake up and wait, this is, dude, I'm telling you, I should just, the whole podcast, I guess it is, when I don't have a guest, it's just me trying to like siphon what funny thoughts or just, not even funny thoughts, just what thoughts I had of the week. Listen to this one. I don't even know if I can figure it out. Maybe I'm high and these thoughts are normal. You're going to have to be the judge of that. You ever think you may wake up at any moment and realize you're a teenage, oh, in a drug dream? Okay. This makes sense. Sorry, all the words are like spaced out and stuff. Never write when you're messed up. It doesn't. You read it sober and you're like, what? What do you? Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to get messed up and understand this. Anyways, I understand it because I'm getting messed up. Um, you ever think you may wake up at any moment and realize you're a teenager in a drug dream? Has that ever happened to you guys? I didn't. I'm not an adult right now. I'm not in a new podcast studio that my wife's paying for because I make no fucking money being a comedian. I'm a teenager in my mom's room, transgender, and I just did a new drug because it's 2028 and it makes you live a life. Is that a possibility? Is that freaking mind blowing? Yes, it is. Did someone last week leave a comment on one of my videos on YouTube and said these two guys, referring to Adam Close, who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, listen, are two French fries away from being a Happy Meal? Did that not happen, or is this? I think she meant, are we retarded? We are. Did that happen, or am I a teenager, like a teenage girl, that just took a crazy drug because she's trying to impress a boy? That's a possibility right now. I could be a really hot chick that is in love with, he's the new kid, Tony Montana. He's Puerto Rican with a scar on his eyebrow. And he likes to do new drugs because he's cool. His dad lets him drive the Porsche on the weekends. And I'm trying to impress him. I'm showing cleavage. I'm wearing a new dress that just came out. Mommy bought it for me. And Tony's like, take this drug. And I take it in my eye. You know, obviously drugs in the future are going to be eye droppers. And now I'm realizing it. Now, this is when the drug gets crazy. When I'm realizing I'm a 16-year-old girl in the future. I gotta have a drink for that one. That's scary, bro. That's scary because I love my family. Wife gets on the nerves a lot. I love my kid, you know? And can you imagine like loving people And then you wake up and you're a teenage girl trying to impress a boy. Well, actually, this is the future. I'm just trying to impress they. Kind of sad. Like, I would be heartbroken. I would definitely scream, you know? I would definitely think I'm never taking drugs again. Have you ever had a dream where you fell in love? I have. God, this podcast got gay. Pride Month. I really have, though. I've really had a dream where, like, I fell in love with someone. Don't tell my wife. I made him up in my head. It's not even a real person, you know? Have you ever? That's crazy, right? And I wanted to go back in the dream when I woke up. I've also had a dream where I got shot in the head. Have you ever had that? Oh my God. And you can like kind of feel the bullet. Maybe I actually did get shot in the head. Maybe that's why I'm so. I got shot in the head, and the wife hired people to quickly fix and make it look normal so I don't think of anything. That's a possibility. There's a lot of possibilities. By the way, you can tell I'm newly in the barbecuing if you're watching the video, because look at my hand. I burnt my hand barbecuing. Amateurs do that shit. Amateurs. You think Rachel Ray does that? Hell no. If Rachel Ray was there, she would have laughed at me. Bitch. When I smoke or drink, it's like inviting a friend to a party. Oh, no, no. Jeez, I am messed up. Maybe I can't read. I can't read right now. I can't read ever. When I smoke or drink, it's like inviting a friend to play. That's what I meant to say. It really is. Sober, you're sitting there, you're getting shit done, but you're by yourself. You ever do stuff after drinking or smoking or doing something? Woo! It's like, being a kid again and being bored because you're with your family all the time. And then your mom says, "You can invite a friend over this weekend. Can I invite cannabis? Can I invite White Claw? Yeah, sure. Just, you know, make sure you guys don't get everything dirty. We won't." We always did. You know what I mean? You always did. That's what it's like. It's like inviting that sometimes crazy friend, depending on what you're doing. Sometimes chill. Oh yeah, he's chill. He's cool. Oh, I like him. He's sweet. Oh, it's marijuana. Like. By the way, I think after reading that comment, I think I am one French fry away from being a Happy Meal. But I like to have fun. I'm not doing this podcast sober. I'm not getting paid, damn it. Even if I was getting paid. Oh, God. Thanks, parents, for the addictions. Millennial, I gotta blame the parents, not myself. I can't take any blame. Millennial. Hmm. By the way, I accidentally turned on a man on the street the other day. I didn't even mean to. I was in San Francisco, and I did this. And I don't know if that's code for Obama. You want me? But I was put on chapstick. Women don't kiss you if your lips are chapped. I told the guy that. He's like, I wouldn't know. Then he kissed me, and then I made out with him, and then he's living with us now. My wife likes it because she comes now. We're jokes. We're jokes. I was waiting for my wife to say, I wish that wasn't a joke. A friend, inviting a friend to play. It really is. Thank God for drugs and alcohol. The whole thing is if you can control them, God bless them. If you can't, I hate them, God. You know what I mean? Isn't it funny too when people quit drugs and whatever, alcohol, which is a drug, I should just say drugs. Sometimes people go from one extreme to the next. They're like, I quit heroin. because I found God. And now they're praying and they're preaching and they're just, there's no like, okay, maybe religion was a bad example, but it's an example. We know some people like that, right? I'm just saying, like, going from like crazy drug addict to like, I hate drug addicts. I guess you would go that, right? I don't know. I'm an ex-drug addict. I don't hate them. I get them. You know what I mean? I'm not out on the street saying, God bless, God made Florida. I'm not crazy. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm one French fry away from being from Happy Meal. I ran into someone I hadn't seen for a while, but I also had to take a shit. Have you ever been in this predicament where someone's talking to you and you're giving all the signs like, hey, wrap it up, but they're not seeing all the signs? I'm like looking at the corner and they're still talking to me. I'm like, come on, I'm almost like, come on, because I don't want to get fully rude. That happened to me the other day. I had to go to the bathroom really bad and poopy, and this lady at work just kept talking, and I'm like, I don't want to tell this like lady, like, hey, I gotta fucking chew poo out of the bunghole, right? That would have been awkward. And I'm just waiting for her to finish up. And oh my God, it was like, what's going on here? What is this? My grandpa doing a prayer before dinner? Come on, let's speed it up. I put $7 in my gas tank to feel like a kid again. I want to feel like a teenager. At least that's what I told my son. I don't want to look too poor in front of him. I went to a Mexican party just the other day. Went with the wife, Mexican. I had to go with her to get in there. You know what I mean? Went to a Mexican party, hit the piñata. I broke it, and cocaine fell out. I was like, get them all. I was smoking a vape. It's like smoking out a woman's. Okay, bro. Okay, this isn't just me. Okay? Sorry, I keep showing the burnt hand. That's gross if you're watching that. I'll use the other hand. Yeah, see? I respect you guys. Okay, I don't, this doesn't make sense. Let's read it again. I was smoking a vape. It is like smoking out of a woman's sex. Does anyone know what I was trying to say? I need an interpreter. I need someone to come in that knows how to read like hieroglyphics and go, this is what you meant. You love your mom. I was like, oh, that's what I meant by slutty bitch, fuck you, cornholes, awesome. I was smoking a vape and it's like smoking out of a woman's sex. This is tough. I do feel like one of those guys, like, we're trying to figure out what he meant by writing all this in the pyramid. You know what I mean? This is ancient Mayan shit right here. I was smoking a vape and it's like smoking out of a woman. I think it'd be more like smoking out of a man, right? Because a vape is like a penis. This is why you don't write notes in the middle of the night. They tell you, hey, if you wake up with an idea, write it. And this is what happens. I yelled, hey, slow down to a car. And then I realized, oh, God, I'm getting old. I've talked about this before. I told someone the other day, I enjoy walking. Makes me feel good. And I'm turning an old Asian lady. These little signs. I really, this guy was speeding, and I wasn't really worried about my safety. It was my kid. You know, that's really what it comes down to. I think people kind of turn into old bitter assholes because they're scared of their kid getting hurt. It has nothing to do with them. I'll jump in front of the car. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about it. I need to make rent. I need to sue someone. Hey, slow down. And another thing I know I'm getting old, I don't bump music loud and by like people. Like I think it's rude. I'm getting old. Old and old. When I grow up, I want to be boring. I wrote that actually. A wife. Oh, here we go. A wife invented, which I put invited. Don't write when you're intoxicated. A wife invented sativa weed. A wife invented sativa weed. How can I get my husband to do stuff? It really is. I don't know if you guys are weed people. Probably are if you're listening to this podcast. And you're like, indica during the day? No bueno. You're not getting anything done. That sativa, I had sativa on a Sunday. I cleaned the whole house. My mom, my wife, that's why I think of her. She is like a mom. She came in. She was like, "Oh my God." She's like, "You did great. Look at all this." And then I ruined it. I was like, "Well, does this mean I'm gonna get a blowjob?" No. Epstein did it wrong. Should have started an island for 18 and up. These are the thoughts I have before I go to bed. You know what I mean? Like Epstein had all that money for being like a Jewish spy. Why not start an island with 18 and up? 18 is pretty young. Like I think 18 is young at 35. I can't imagine being his age, 65 or whatever the fuck he was. Oh, an 18-year-old, he was probably banging so much. He was like, I got a fucking 14-year-old just to get hard. You know what I mean? That's the problem of getting addicted to that shit. You know? Which they say that, but really, even if I was really addicted to sex, I don't think I'd be like, I need to hook a 12-year-old. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I don't even think he was fucking that low of age chicks. I think he was just like fucking 16-year-olds, which is like 2 years away from 18. But yet again, if he was just fucking 16-year-olds, I don't know if he would get the whole fucking book thrown at him. I mean, they fucking threw a couple books at him, you disgusting pig, which I get. But why didn't this guy do 18 and up? I mean, the judge is probably thinking about that, you know? With all that money, that's what I would have done. If I was Epstein, 18 and up, and I would have invited DiCaprio, Pitt. Think about it. Everyone wants to be your friend because you got hot chicks. They don't want to go to college yet. You'll pay them hella money to live on an island. Bro, if you pay anyone hella money, let's not get sexist. It's not just women. If you pay, there's a million guys out there. If you pay them a ton of money, they $1 million, they suck your dick. Straight guy. I guarantee it. You know what I mean? I've never done it like the house. You know what I mean? Obviously, if I was in a big house, all of a sudden you'd be like, okay, that guy, I like sick dick. You know what I mean? But people will do anything for money, which is kind of scary. You know what I mean? People sell their fucking souls for money. Look at OnlyFans. That's what we're talking about. Wow. See how things finally come back around? That's what we're talking about. Quickly, I'll come back to the Epstein thing and inviting Brad Pitt over and doing s'mores. That's what we're talking about. That's why you gotta continue listening to the podcast because we eventually come back to what I was talking about. And that's how you know I'm a stoner. Or I have early case of dementia. I go to that dad at the game. I go, who invited the porn star? Just as a joke, you know. And he goes, "Oh, the OnlyFans. I have it." Kids, they get to see their friend's mom naked, and every person I know, my wife just dropped some over there. She heard it. Every person I know growing up, there was always that one hot mom you wanted to see naked. You jerk off to, I'm fucking my friend's mom in your fantasy. But then you see him, he'd be all polite and stuff. Oh, hi, how's it going, Miss, McCracken? Now those buddies get to go, oh my God, my buddy Johnny, remember he's like, never talked about my mom. I know she's hot, don't talk about her. We found her OnlyFans. That's mom hat. Oh, it's crazy. Life's crazy, dude. Everyone is a porn star. There's at least one person you know that everyone knows you can see naked. The cashier at the grocery store, a cousin. I even read a story. This is this chick was disgusted because she found out that her top subscriber of OnlyFans was her stepdad. And she was making custom videos for him and didn't even know it. Guess what, lady? That's what you get for being on OnlyFans. That's karma 101. You put yourself out there naked, weirdos are going to come out. And weirdos you didn't even imagine. Stepdad, great guy. He probably wasn't even a weirdo until you posted your clit online, Crazy. People are crazy. I could never be on that. Shit's on the internet forever. Which is why I'm deleting all these podcasts. Smelling a woman's poo is a turnoff. That's one of my notes in here. It's just facts. I think it's a turnoff the other way around. You ever get a compliment and later you find out the person that gave you the compliment gives that compliment to a lot of people? Oh, it's the worst. I know this one comedian, every time I do a set afterwards, he's like, even if in my head I think it's bad, they always go, "Oh my God, that was great. You got a future. You're really, whew." Well, recently I did a show and they said that there's someone that did way worse than me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm never taking a compliment genuine from you. You ever talk to someone and they go, that would get old real quick? Made me realize the other day, I like doing stuff that gets old quick. Goes to show you where I'm at in life. uh, you ever meet someone that doesn't hang up the phone first? You're on a conversation with them and you go, hey, see ya, bye. And they wait for you to hang up. That's weird. Just hang up the phone. I can't eat spicy food anymore. I'm slowly turning into an old white guy. I told you. I yelled um, to the person driving down my street fast, slow down. I told my wife I couldn't get it up. There's signs I'm turning an old white guy. This is the next one. I can't have any spicy food. You know what that means? How many foods I can't have? A lot. I have to have a sandwich now? Ugh. Give me that fucking Indian food. Give me that Mexican food. You think anyone has ever died from a paperclip? Why do I write this stuff down? They say write down everything. Maybe I shouldn't. But the answer to that question, there's got to be, right? Or someone's died from everything. I mean, someone's hit their head on a speaker knob and died. If I'm bored, I'll do something exhilarating, like driving with the gas light on while smoking weed. Will I make it? Thrill. Drive by a cop high. Yes, I'm 18 years old. Bad genes. That's why I look 40. My notes, they're crazy. My notes are crazy. But it is kind of a thrill to drive in with like no gas, smoking weed. Can I go to jail? That's what we do in the suburbs. No roller coasters out here, so we gotta make our own fun. Let me take my garden hose out and water your mouth. That was the other day when I asked for a blowjob to my wife. There's a reason why I only get laid twice a year. I asked the black guy at, oh yeah, oh my God. So there's this African dude at Lowe's, he works there. Glad they're hiring diversity. We're really making progress. And I walk up, he's like, hey, sort of. I don't know how to do African accent. Yeah, what's up, dude? He's like, do you need help with anything? I go, where's the cornhole? And then he pointed at his butt. And he's like, you want to enter? I said, well, it is Pride Month. But no, I'm married to a woman. He's like, all right, well, why'd you ask me about the cornhole? I said, well, it's a game. He's like, yeah, I know. I play with my friends in the Castro. I said, no, it's a game where you throw bean bags in a hole. He's like, yeah, I play that game with my friends in the Castro. I said, okay, well, let me just show you. And he's like, you know what? We can't hear. Show me in the back. And I said, okay, I go to the back. and he was really disappointed. I showed him a YouTube video, and then he didn't even know they sold it there. I said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Is this a barn game, or did you grow up on a farm?" I said, "Do I look that handicapped? No." And then we went down, and there was some white flamboyant woman that had the cornhole. But hi, how you? Yeah, and the African guy, yeah, cornhole. I've never heard of it. Trust me, I thought it was something else. Oh yeah, we have a lot of. You ever meet someone they're like overly bubbly, and you're like, I just want to get this and go. I'm tired. Hi, how's your day going? My brother just graduated high school. Come on, Sherry. Come on. This is. Hi, have you ever been to Greece? You know it'd be rude to hear about Greece. Did you know that Zeus was actually a real person? I didn't know that. Sherry told me a lot. When I used to do opiates back in the day, or when I used to do pills, my nickname was Big Pharma. Guys, that's been the podcast. I think you've had enough, right? Um, Go check out my Instagram. I've it's underscore Alex Woody Comedy. I got a lot of shows coming up. And I want you guys to be there. If you live in Northern California, you're in luck because you live by one of the greatest comedians ever to perform comedy. Yeah, that's right, Paul Conyards. He lives right by me. He's a great comedian. Go check him out. Kidding, guy. Talking about Miwa. Alex Woody. Come check me out. Go to Instagram. Check out underscore Alex Woody Comedy. And I have my shows there. And if they're not there, DM me. I answer all the DMs because I only get 0. So hit me up. God bless. And also go check out silvertongueaudio.org. They sponsor this podcast, believe it or not. So send them the hate mail that you all want to send. Don't send it to me. Go to silvertongueaudio.org. Click on that website, and you'll see a bunch of free podcasts there. One of them being Dazed and Disturbed, which is one of my favorites. It's about a guy who hangs out with Mary Jane and he shines a little light, talks about dark subjects. It's cool. Check it out. NPC podcast, the non-player character podcast. It's a fun video game discussion, goofiness. It's fun. Everyone on the podcast is in the industry of the consoles. So go check it out. silvertongueaudio.org. And my podcast is on there. So you can go on there and give me all thumbs down. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all my listeners. Make sure you tell a friend, tell the UPS driver, tell the Amazon driver. They're good looking. The Alex Woody's here, and he's here to stay, guy. That's Midnight in the Bay. We're almost at 300. You kidding me, guy? Let's go.